Welcome to this video. But this is not just another video. This might be the most important video you watch this year. Because it's not about motivation. It's not about inspiration. It's about the invisible enemy inside you. The one silently destroying your future, and you don't even notice it. It's your habits. That's right, not your job, not your background, not your parents, not your past. The reason your life feels stuck, the reason you keep feeling behind, is because of what you do every single day without thinking. Your habits are either killing your dreams or quietly building your future while no one is watching. Let me ask you something honestly. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow. Just one more time, then I'll stop. I know it's bad, but I'll change soon." But months passed, and nothing changed. You're still wasting time, still overthinking, still addicted, still making excuses, still going back to that same old cycle you promised to break. But not anymore. This video is the line. This video is the moment where you stop lying to yourself. This video is where you stop playing with your potential and start taking back control. Because here's the truth. You don't need a new life. You just need to kill the habits that are destroying the life you already have. So if you're tired of being tired, tired of watching your potential die in front of your eyes, tired of saying, "I'll change," and not doing it, then watch this till the very last second. Because today, I'm not just giving you tips. I'm giving you the roadmap to break your bad habits, rebuild your mind, and restart your life. And yes, if you're learning English, this video will help you too, because every word, every sentence is made simple, powerful, and clear. So, while you change your habits, you'll also grow your English step by step, word by word. Let's begin. Before we get into how to break bad habits, you need to understand why this is so serious. Most people think habits are just small things. Waking up late, watching too much TV, scrolling too long, skipping the workout. They think it's no big deal. But here's the truth no one tells you. Your habits are not small. They are your life on repeat. Whatever you do daily becomes who you are. Bad habits don't just steal time. They destroy discipline, confidence, energy, and hope. Every time you choose laziness over action, every time you choose distraction over focus, every time you go back to something that hurts your growth, you're training your brain to give up on you. It's not about one bad choice. It's about the identity you are building with every repeated action. A person who procrastinates once doesn't fail, but a person who procrastinates daily becomes a failure without realizing it. A person who doubts themselves once is human, but a person who speaks negatively to themselves every day becomes their own biggest enemy. That's why this video matters, because this isn't about breaking a bad habit. It's about breaking the pattern that's been stealing your future. It's about reclaiming your power, one decision at a time. You want to change your life? Then change what you repeat. Way 1. Identify the habit trigger, the root of the cycle. You cannot break a bad habit you don't understand. Every habit you have, good or bad, is part of a loop. Trigger, action, reward. Let me give you an example. Say your bad habit is checking your phone too much. Most people think the habit starts when they pick up the phone. No, it starts before that. It starts with a trigger. Maybe you're bored. Maybe you're feeling anxious. Maybe you just heard a notification sound. Or maybe you're trying to avoid a task. That moment, that trigger, is what gives birth to the habit. If you don't catch that trigger, you'll repeat the habit automatically, like a robot. Let's say you always binge on junk food at night. The trigger might not be hunger. It could be stress, or loneliness, or just the habit of watching Netflix while eating. Now, Here's where the change happens. Next time you feel the urge, pause and ask, what am I feeling right now? Why do I want to do this? Just doing that breaks the autopilot. You become conscious. You're no longer controlled by the habit. You're watching it. That awareness is the beginning of power. Action step. Keep a small journal or note in your phone. Every time you feel the urge to do a bad habit, write down what happened right before. What were you doing? What were you feeling? What time was it? Where were you? Do this for just 3 to 5 days and you will clearly see the pattern. When you find the trigger, you can interrupt the cycle. Because when you control the start, you control the outcome. Way 2. Replace the habit. Don't just remove it. You don't break a habit by fighting it. You break it by replacing it with something stronger. Most people make one huge mistake when trying to break a bad habit. They try to stop it. They try to cut it out. They say things like, I won't scroll social media anymore. I'll never smoke again. I'll stop eating junk food completely. But they don't realize your brain doesn't like empty space. When you just try to remove a habit, it leaves a void. And your brain, like nature, hates a vacuum. It needs to fill that space with something. And guess what? It fills it with the old habit, the one you're trying to escape. That's why you fall back. Not because you're weak, not because you're lazy, but because you never replaced the thing you removed. If you want to kill a bad habit, you need to give your brain something better. Not just remove the poison, but add the antidote. The law of replacement. Every habit you remove must be replaced with a healthier behavior that gives you a similar reward. It's not just about willpower. It's about intelligent replacement. Let's say your bad habit is scrolling social media when you're anxious. The reward is distraction. So ask yourself, what else can give me relief from anxiety that's not harmful? Replacement. Deep breathing, going for a short walk, listening to calm music, or writing down how you feel. You're still dealing with the anxiety, but now you're doing it in a healthy way that helps you, not hurts you. Let's take another one. Bad habit, eating junk food when you feel sad. You're not really hungry. You're emotionally empty. The reward is temporary comfort. Replacement. Call a friend, write in a journal, hug your pet, drink water, or eat fruit mindfully. You're still giving your brain comfort, but not poison. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who was addicted to alcohol. Every time he felt stressed, lonely, or overwhelmed, he would drink. Not because he wanted to, but because that's how he had trained his brain to cope. One day, he tried to quit cold turkey. He said, "That's it, I'm done." He lasted 4 days. Then he relapsed harder. So, he changed his strategy. He didn't try to just remove the drinking. Instead, he started replacing it. Every time the urge came, he went to the gym for 20 minutes, took an ice-cold shower, wrote down exactly what he was feeling, or drank water with lemon. It was a small, physical reset. Slowly, the cravings didn't go away, but the brain stopped reaching for alcohol first because he had given it new habits, new coping tools, and new rituals. It took him 67 days, and he's been clean for over 5 years. All because he didn't just remove the poison, he replaced it with strength. Here's a step-by-step process anyone can follow. Step 1. Identify the habit and the reward. Ask yourself, what habit do I want to break? What reward does it give me? Relief, comfort, excitement, or escape? Step 2. Find a replacement that gives you the same reward. You're not just removing behavior, you're solving an emotional need. If you smoke to relax, replace it with deep breathing. If you scroll to avoid work, replace it with a short walk plus a reset timer. If you binge eat, Replace it with mindful snacking plus journaling. Step 3. Make the new habit easy and instant. If it's hard to do, your brain will reject it. The new habit must be easy to start, short in time, and emotionally rewarding. Example: a 30-second meditation is easier to stick to than a 20-minute one when you're stressed. Step 4. Repeat until the brain rewires. Here's the secret. You don't break the old habit in one day. You weaken it daily by strengthening the new one. At first, the old one will scream louder. That's okay. Don't fight it. Just feed the new one more every single time. Your brain will start asking for the better habit instead of the toxic one. Let's say someone wants to stop checking Instagram every 10 minutes. Here's how to replace it. Trigger: boredom or stress. Old habit: opening Instagram. Reward: escape or quick pleasure. Replacement ideas: open notes and write one positive thought. Do 10 push-ups. Drink a glass of water. Take 3 deep breaths. Or watch a 1-minute English learning video instead. It sounds small, but it's massive because now you're retraining your brain to get a better reward in a better way. That's how transformation begins. You don't stop being addicted to your bad habits by hating them. You stop by loving something better. If you don't replace the bad will come back. But when you replace it with something that makes you proud, something that makes you stronger, something that makes you feel alive again, that's when the old habit dies quietly, because your new life no longer needs it. Way 3. Change your identity. Don't just change your habit. You don't break bad habits by changing your actions. You break them by changing your identity, who you believe you are. Most people try to fix their habits from the outside. They change what they do. I'll stop eating junk. I'll stop scrolling Instagram. I'll stop being lazy. But here's the truth that almost no one talks about. Your actions are not the root of your habits. Your identity is. You act like the person you believe you are. If deep down you believe, I'm a lazy person, I always give up, I'm addicted, I've always been like this, then even if you stop the habit for a few days, you'll always return to it because the brain is loyal to identity. It wants your actions to match your beliefs, even if those beliefs are hurting you. Let me show you how identity changes everything. 2 people are trying to quit smoking. They're both offered a cigarette. The first one says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." Sounds good, right? But listen carefully. They said, "I'm trying to quit." That means I'm still a smoker, but I'm fighting it. The second person says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Boom. Identity shift. One is resisting the habit, the other has replaced their identity. The first one is still in a fight. The second one is already free because they changed who they are. Let me tell you something real. You can delete Instagram. You can throw away the chips. You can start a new routine. But if you still wake up and say in your mind, "I'm undisciplined, I'm not consistent, I always fall back," then you will fall back again and again because you haven't changed the story in your mind. Habits are not just behavior. They are a reflection of your self-image. Every time you say, "I'm bad with money, I'm addicted to sugar, I'm lazy, I can't focus, I'm not good at English," your brain quietly replies, "Got it. Let's make sure that stays true." It's not that you're weak. It's that you've been programmed by your past, by your pain, by what people told you, by what you tell yourself. But today, we break that. Today, we write a new identity. Step 1. Choose who you want to become. Don't focus on stopping the habit. Ask yourself, what kind of person would never have this habit in the first place? If you want to stop procrastinating, the identity is not someone who works hard once in a while. It's, I'm the kind of person who always finishes what I start. If you want to stop eating unhealthy, it's not, "I'm trying to eat better." It's, "I'm the kind of person who treats my body with love and discipline." If you want to stop wasting time on your phone, it's, "I'm the kind of person who values my time more than cheap dopamine." That's identity. You don't just act differently, you become someone else. Step 2. Say it, feel it, repeat it. Now say this identity out loud every single day. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, speak it anyway. Because the brain believes what it hears repeatedly. I am consistent. I finish what I start. I control my cravings. They don't control me. I take care of my health. I don't waste time. I use time. I am learning English every day, and I'm getting better. You're not lying. You're programming your mind to become your future self. This is not affirmation magic. This is neuroscience. The brain rewires itself based on identity and repetition. Step 3. Prove it to yourself daily. Now, this is where most people mess up. They say, "I want to believe I'm disciplined, but I'm not." Here's the trick. You don't have to believe it first. You just have to take one small action every day that proves the identity. If you want to become someone who doesn't procrastinate, do one task right now. It doesn't matter how small, because that action becomes evidence. And when you collect enough evidence, your brain starts believing, "This is who I am now." You're not trying anymore. You're becoming. Here's the full formula. Every time you act in alignment with your new identity, your old habit dies a little more. You don't need 100% change in one day. You just need to prove to yourself every day that you're someone new. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up consistently, honestly, and patiently. Because habits are not just about what you do, they are about who you are. And the most powerful transformation happens when you stop asking, "How do I break this habit?" and start asking, "Who do I need to become to never need this habit again?" That changes everything. There was a girl who wanted to speak fluent English, but every time she opened her mouth, she froze. She believed, "I'm not smart enough. People will laugh at me. I'm not the type of person who speaks English well." She tried watching videos, tried practicing, but nothing worked because her identity was broken. Then one day, she stopped trying to fix her habit and started changing her self-image. Every morning, she looked in the mirror and said, "I'm a confident speaker. I am learning. I am improving. I am brave." She spoke to herself in English for 5 minutes daily. Not perfect, but consistent for 90 days. She wasn't just better at English. She was more confident, more bold, and more free. Why? Because she didn't just change her words, she changed her identity. Don't fight your old habits. Become someone who doesn't need them anymore. When you change who you believe you are, your actions will follow. Your discipline will grow. Your cravings will shrink. Your confidence will rise. And your old life, the one you hated, will finally be left behind. Not because you ran from it, but because you outgrew it. Way 4. Rewire the reward. Make your brain hate the habit and love the new you. You don't keep bad habits because they're strong. You keep them because your brain thinks they're rewarding. Change the reward, and you change your life. Every bad habit survives for one reason. It gives your brain a reward. Even the worst habits, scrolling for hours, overeating, lying, skipping workouts, exist because they release a tiny hit of dopamine, the chemical of pleasure and relief. So your brain says, "This feels good. Let's do it again." Let's make it automatic. This is not weakness. This is biology. Your brain is not evil. It's just following the system you programmed. Your brain can't tell the difference between a reward that helps and a reward that destroys. It doesn't know the difference between comfort versus destruction, distraction versus discipline, or temporary escape versus lifelong regret. It only knows, when I feel sad and I eat sugar, I feel better. When I feel anxious and I scroll, I feel calm. When I'm stressed and I avoid the task, I feel safe. Boom. Dopamine released. Habit repeated. That's the trap. There was a man who hated his addiction to watching adult content. He knew it was ruining his confidence. He knew it made him feel ashamed, weak, and emotionally empty. But he couldn't stop. Why? Because every time he felt lonely, stressed, or bored, it gave him a temporary reward. His brain didn't care about the consequences. It just wanted the hit of dopamine. So he tried everything, blocking websites, throwing away his phone, and promising to quit. Nothing worked, until one day he did this. He sat down, closed his eyes, and visualized his real reward. He imagined his future self, confident, clean, focused, free from shame, with real love and real discipline. And then he imagined the real pain behind his habit. Wasted years, lost relationships, broken focus, self-disgust, and regret. He rewired his brain by showing it. This habit is not pleasure, it's pain in disguise. And after that, everything changed. Because now when he felt the urge, his brain didn't feel reward. It felt resistance. That's how you kill a habit at the root. How to rewire the reward in your brain, step by step. Step 1. Catch the craving. The moment the urge rises, pause. Take a breath. Don't act yet. Observe. Say to yourself, this is the moment. This is the window. You're not weak. You're awake. That's power. Step 2. Ask, what is my brain expecting right now? Understand that your brain isn't evil. It's looking for relief. Is it trying to feel better, safer, distracted, loved, or in control? Be honest. Every habit is a response to an emotion. Step 3. Visualize the real cost of the habit. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Visualize yourself 1 year from now. If you continue this habit, imagine the regret, the energy loss, the life you could have built, the relationships destroyed, and the time you can never get back. Make it painful, because the truth is painful. Your brain learns from emotion, not logic. Step 4. Visualize the real reward of change. Now imagine a different future. A life where you are free, a body that's strong, a mind that's sharp, days filled with purpose, confidence when you look in the mirror, pride when you say, I don't need that habit anymore. Now you're not just avoiding pain, you're chasing something beautiful. Your brain now says, this is the real reward. This is what I want. Step 5. Replace the quick reward with a deep reward. When the craving hits, instead of reaching for your phone, reach for progress. Here's what you can do. Do 15 push-ups. Drink a full glass of water. Or open your journal and write, this is my old self trying to control me. I am not that person anymore. Watch 2 minutes of an English learning video or self-help audio. Go stand under the sun for 5 minutes and breathe. Now you're giving your brain a new reward. Not cheap dopamine, but real power. You don't keep bad habits because you're broken. You keep them because your brain is addicted to the wrong reward. The key is not to hate the habit. The key is to teach your brain that the thing you think is helping you is actually destroying you, and then give it something better. That's how real rewiring begins. There was a girl in college. She wanted to be at the top of her class, but she had one enemy: procrastination. Every time she had a project, she delayed it. She waited until the last minute. She hated the pressure, hated the stress, and hated herself after. But she still did it. Why? Because procrastination gave her a quick reward. Every time she avoided the work, her brain said, "Ah, relief." Even though it led to panic later, the brain didn't care. So she changed her strategy. Next time the urge to delay came, she stood up, walked outside, and asked herself, "If I do this work right now, what will it feel like in 3 hours?" The answer: pride, control, relief, and freedom. That reward became her new motivation, and slowly, day by day, she stopped running from the task because the reward of action felt stronger than the reward of delay. She rewired her brain, and she rewired her destiny. The reward is not the problem. The habit is not the problem. The brain is not the problem. The problem is what you taught your brain to chase. But the beautiful thing is, you can teach it something new from today. Start making your brain fall in love with the real rewards of life: growth, freedom, strength, peace, and self-respect. Once your brain connects good behavior to powerful rewards, the old habits will feel weak, ugly, and unnecessary. Because why go back to poison when you finally tasted power? Way 5. Kill the excuses. Burn the backup plan, or you'll never change. As long as you give yourself an excuse, you'll return to your bad habits again and again. Because excuses are not just lies, they are permission to stay the same. You see, bad habits aren't always held in place by addiction. They are often protected by justification. Let me explain. Every time someone tries to change, their brain whispers lies like, "Just this once. I had a long day. It's okay. I deserve a break. At least I'm not as bad as before. I'll start again next week. I'm only human, right?" These are not thoughts. These are weapons your brain uses against your own future. Because every time you say yes to an excuse, you're saying no to your dreams. Excuses make you feel better temporarily. They give you relief. They give you a reason to escape. They allow you to stay in your comfort zone, guilt-free. But here's the truth. Every excuse you make becomes a brick in the wall that keeps you trapped in your old life. Your bad habit does not need strength to survive. It only needs your permission. And you give that permission every time you say, "It's not that bad. Tomorrow will be different. At least I'm trying." But let me ask you something honest. Has that excuse ever truly helped you grow? Has it ever built the life you want? Has it ever moved you forward? No, it only buys you more time to stay the same. There's an old story of a warrior leading his army to battle on foreign land. As soon as they landed, he gave his soldiers a shocking command: "Burn the boats." His men were terrified. "But how will we escape?" He looked them in the eye and said, "We won't. We win, or we die here." And guess what? They fought harder than ever. Because with no backup plan, no escape, and no safety net, they had only one option: victory. They didn't fight with hesitation. They fought with hunger, because they had no excuses left. That's how you need to approach your bad habits. As long as there's a boat behind you, you'll swim backward. But if you burn the boat, you fight for your life, and finally, you win. Here's the trick. The brain will always choose the easiest option, unless you make the easy option painful. You need to make staying the same feel like a failure. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Write down every excuse you make. Be brutally honest. No filters, no shame. "I'm tired. It's just one day. At least I'm trying. No one else is doing it either. I'm too stressed. Now look at that list. Those are the chains holding you back. Those are the lies keeping you stuck in the same cycle. Step 2. Break the excuse with a counterattack. For every excuse, write a counter-truth. Example. Excuse. I'm tired. Truth. Everyone's tired. Champions move anyway. Excuse. I'll do it tomorrow. Truth. Tomorrow is a lie I keep telling myself. Excuse. One time won't hurt. Truth. Every one time built the person I'm trying to escape. Now, every time the excuse shows up, you'll have a weapon ready. Step 3. Create real consequences. Discipline dies without consequence, so make the stakes real. Tell a friend. If I scroll for more than 20 minutes, I pay you $20. If I skip my routine, I delete one app. If I cheat on my food plan, I do 100 burpees. Pain reprograms the brain, because now doing the bad habit feels more expensive than doing the right one. Step 4. Burn the backup plan. Remove the escape routes. Unfollow every distraction. Block websites. Give your phone to someone after 9 p.m. Announce your commitment publicly. Throw away the junk food. Do whatever it takes to make your old life unreachable. No soft landings, no maybe, only movement forward. Step 5. Speak like there's no option. Your language must match your mission. Don't say, I'm trying to quit. I hope I change. I'm working on it. Say, I don't do that anymore. That's not who I am now. That chapter is over. Because the way you speak becomes the path you walk. As long as you give yourself an excuse, your bad habits will have a key to the door. Lock the door. Burn the key and step into the fire. It will be hard. It will be painful. You will feel exposed, raw, uncertain. But that's the price of rebirth. The old you must die so the real you can live. No more waiting. No more trying. No more stories. It's time to kill the excuses, or they will kill your potential. Way 6. Make the pain loud. Silence is keeping you stuck. You haven't changed your habits because the pain of staying the same is still quieter than the pain of changing. We live in a world that teaches you how to numb. Don't feel. Don't cry. Don't admit it hurts. Just scroll, eat, distract, work, escape. But here's the problem. The more you numb your pain, the more your habits own you. Because guess what? That bad habit you can't break survives because you've never felt the full weight of what it's doing to you. We say, it's not that bad. At least I'm not like them. Everyone has their own struggle. I'm doing okay. No, you're not doing okay. You're slowly drowning in silent habits that are eating you alive from the inside out. You check your phone 60 times a day and wonder why your focus is broken. You sleep 10 hours and still wake up tired because your spirit is drained. You keep eating trash because it feels easier than feeling your sadness. You watch motivational videos but can't get up because you've never sat with your real pain long enough to be disgusted by it. You must reach a point where you can't live like this anymore. Not because someone inspired you, but because the voice in your soul finally screamed, I'm done living like this. That's when habits die. Not when you get more tips, not when you set 10 goals, not when you say, I'll try. Habits die when the pain becomes too loud to ignore. There was a woman in her 30s. She was always okay. She worked, smiled, ate, and scrolled like everyone else. She laughed at parties, posted cute photos, and replied to texts. But behind closed doors, she hated who she was becoming. Her health was getting worse. Her energy was always gone. Her dreams were fading into dust. Her bad habits ruled every hour of her life. But she kept saying, "I'll change soon. I just need to be more motivated. It's just a phase." Until one night, she walked into her bathroom, looked into the mirror, and didn't recognize the eyes staring back at her. No glow, no fight, no love, just numb. And for the first time in years, she sat on the floor and let herself feel it all. The regret, the self-betrayal, the wasted years, the pain she had buried under comfort. And you know what happened next? She got up, not motivated, not inspired, but done. From that day, she didn't need reminders because she had finally heard the scream of her soul. If you don't let yourself feel the real consequences of your habits, you will keep repeating them because they still feel safer than the truth. How to use pain to destroy your bad habits step by step. Step 1. Face the mirror. No filters, no excuses. Take 5 minutes alone. No phone, no music. Just you and silence. Now ask yourself, if I continue this habit for the next 5 years, what will my life look like? Write it down in brutal detail. Will you be proud of yourself? Will your family respect you? Will you be healthy? Will you be happy? Will you still have dreams left? Feel the shame. Feel the guilt. Let the pain speak. Step 2. Say the words you're afraid to admit. Speak them out loud. Say, "I hate that I waste my life every day. I feel weak when I give in. I'm scared I'll never become the person I was meant to be. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay." These words are not weakness. They are freedom. Because the truth will set you free. But only if you're brave enough to feel it. Step 3. Turn the pain into a weapon. Now, take everything you just felt and use it. Write one line that will become your new law. Example, I don't scroll, I create. I don't sleep in, I rise from my mission. I don't eat my pain, I face it. I don't lie to myself anymore. Say it every day. Put it on your wall. Make it your new identity. Let the pain become the fire that burns the old you down. Step 4. Create a reminder of what's at stake. Create a pain board, a place where you write or draw what happens if you don't change. Example, a picture of your tired face. A note that says, 1 year from now, same regret, new excuse. A photo of someone you'll lose if you keep ignoring your potential. Every time you want to fall back, look at that board. Let it punch you in the soul. Let it remind you. Comfort is a trap. Progress is pain. But pain is the doorway to freedom. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are just too comfortable. Your bad habits are not stronger than you. They are just quieter than your pain. So from today, stop numbing, stop escaping, stop waiting to feel ready. Let the pain scream. Let the guilt burn. Let the truth bleed. And when it does, don't run from it. Run through it. Because when the pain of staying the same becomes louder than the pain of changing, that's when the transformation begins. That's when you stop watching life happen and you start becoming someone worth watching. Way 7. Track the pattern, because repetition builds reality. You don't repeat bad habits because you're broken. You repeat them because you never noticed the pattern. Your bad habits are not random. You don't scroll social media just because. You don't eat junk food just because. You don't procrastinate just because. You do it because it's a pattern. And here's the scary truth. Anything repeated daily becomes your reality. even if it's destroying you. The reason most people never change isn't because they're lazy, it's because they're unaware. They don't see the cycle. They don't track the pattern. They don't realize how often they're repeating the same behavior at the same time in the same way every single day until their habit becomes their life. There was a 22-year-old guy who wanted to become a YouTuber. He had ideas. He had talent. He had the voice. But he had one enemy: mindless scrolling. He kept saying, "It's just 10 minutes. I'm just checking updates. I'll start after this video." Until one day, someone asked him, "How much time do you actually waste per day?" He didn't know. So he downloaded an app tracker. The result? He was spending 5.3 hours a day on YouTube, Instagram, and random videos. That's 160 hours a month. That's 1,920 hours a year. That's 80 full days of his life. Gone. Gone to nothing. Gone to distractions. Gone to silence. All because he never tracked the pattern. The moment he saw those numbers, he broke down. Not because he was ashamed, but because he was finally awake. How to track the pattern and regain control step by step. Step 1. Choose the habit you want to break. Example: scrolling, overeating, sleeping in, skipping workouts, speaking negatively to yourself. Write it down clearly. The habit I want to break is... Step 2. Track it for 5 days. Every time the habit happens, write, what time was it? Where were you? What were you feeling? What triggered it? How long did it last? How did you feel after? Use your phone notes, journal, or a piece of paper. This is not about judging yourself. It's about waking up because the pattern is already there. You're just finally looking at it. Step 3. Find the pattern. After 5 days, look at what you wrote. Ask, is it happening at the same time, after the same emotion, in the same place, with the same excuse? Boom, you'll see it. That's the crack in the habit. And where there's a crack, there's a way to break it. Step 4. Build a disruption plan. Now that you know the pattern, break it. If you scroll at 10 p.m. every night in bed, put your phone in another room at 9:30 p.m. Or replace that time with reading, stretching, or journaling. If you overeat after work because of stress, prepare a post-work ritual that includes a walk, a healthy snack, and 5 deep breaths. Break the pattern. Break the habit. You don't need more strength. You need more awareness. Track your actions like a scientist. Study your habits like a detective. Break the loop like a warrior. Because your habits are not who you are. They're who you keep becoming. And the moment you start tracking them, you stop being controlled by them. Way 8. Stop romanticizing your old self. That version of you must die. You cannot create a new life while still protecting the version of you that ruined the last one. Let's be honest. Sometimes we don't break our habits because deep down, we're still in love with the old version of ourselves. We say, that's just how I am. I've always been like this. I used to be so fun back then. It's hard to let go of my routine. I miss who I used to be. But listen closely. That version of you, the one who stayed up late, skipped workouts, made excuses, and avoided growth, that version is not your friend. That version is the one who let your dreams die, the one who betrayed your potential, and the one who sold your future for cheap pleasure. Why are you protecting it? Why are you defending the self that kept you trapped? People think growth is about becoming someone new. That's only half the truth. Growth is also about letting go of the old you. The lazy version, the fearful version, the addicted version, the one that laughed at discipline, the one that used jokes to cover pain, the one that settled, and the one that slept while your future waited. You can't carry that version into the life you're trying to build. If you want to be reborn, first you must be willing to bury your past self. There was a boy who used to be the funny guy. He partied, he joked, and he stayed up late. He made everyone laugh, but inside he felt empty. He wanted to grow, wanted to be disciplined, and wanted to build something meaningful. But every time he tried, he kept going back to old friends, back to old habits, and back to his old identity. Because secretly, he missed that version of himself, even though it was destroying him. One day he opened his journal and wrote one line. "I love who I used to be, but he can't come with me anymore." And from that day, he started becoming unrecognizable. He became quiet, focused, and consistent. He was alone at first, but unstoppable. Because he didn't just change his life, he buried the version of himself that no longer deserves to exist. Here is how to kill your old identity step by step. Step 1. Write a farewell letter. Write to your past self. Thank them for what they gave you. Forgive them for what they ruined. Say goodbye to what no longer serves you. Write something like, "Thank you for getting me this far, but from now on, I walk without you. I'm building a new life, and there's no space for you there." Step 2. Create a new daily self-image. Every morning, say, "I am becoming the person who wakes up early, doesn't need validation, and is strong when it's hard. I live with focus. I respect time. I don't play with my potential." Repetition rewires identity, and identity rewires behavior. Step 3. Bury the old you with a symbol. This is powerful. Burn the journal pages that describe your old patterns. Break an object that represents your old habits. Throw away the clothes, apps, or items that kept you stuck. Do something physical that marks a funeral for the past, because when you bury the old you give birth to the new one. The reason your new life hasn't begun is because you keep dragging your old self into it. Let go. Not softly, not slowly, and not when you're ready. Let go like your future depends on it, because it does. The habits you're trying to kill are not just actions. They are pieces of a person you're no longer meant to be. So say goodbye and walk forward as the unapologetically new version of you. Way 9. Surround yourself with change, or your environment will destroy you. You are not failing because you are weak. You are failing because you are trying to grow inside the same place that broke you. Imagine planting a seed in toxic soil. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you speak life into it. But it doesn't grow. Why? Because the soil is poison. That's your life right now. You're trying to break bad habits, you're trying to grow, and you're trying to become disciplined, but you're still surrounded by people who don't support you. You have friends who joke about your progress, a room that feeds your laziness, and apps, clothes, music, and things that remind you of the old you. There are voices online that make you feel like it's okay to stay average. Your environment is not neutral. It is either pushing you forward or pulling you backward. And if you don't change it, you will spend your whole life fighting a war inside your own home. There was a boy who kept saying, "I want to be disciplined. I want to wake up early. I want to become successful." But every night he slept in the same room where he watched Netflix until 3 a.m. He played video games for hours, scrolled endlessly, ate junk food, and made all his past excuses. He tried waking up early, but he couldn't. He tried changing, but it didn't last. He kept failing, and he hated himself for it. But the truth was, his failure wasn't in his discipline. It was in his environment. That room was not a place of growth. It was a temple of old habits. So one day he did something extreme. He moved his bed. He threw away his gaming chair. He boxed every distraction and put it outside. He wrote, "This room is a place of rebirth," on the wall. And that tiny shift changed everything, not because he became better, but because his space finally matched his future. How to change your environment step by step. Step 1. Clean your space like you're cleaning your mind. Throw away anything that tempts your old habit, things that slow you down, reminders of your past laziness. Make your space look like the future you, not the past you. Step 2. Remove digital enemies. Unfollow accounts that distract or demotivate you. Mute or block negative people. Turn off all notifications that pull you away from your purpose. Delete the apps that feed your cravings. Your phone should be a tool for growth, not a weapon of destruction. Step 3. Change your people or change your access. Not everyone has to leave your life, but you can limit their access to your energy. Surround yourself with people who are growing, people who call you higher, people who don't let you stay the same. If you don't have those people, become that person first, and you will attract them soon. Step 4. Add triggers for success. Keep a book next to your bed. Place your journal in front of your mirror. Put your alarm across the room. Hang a quote where your eyes go every morning. Wear clothes that remind you, "I'm different now." Set your environment to remind you who you're becoming. You can't heal in the place that hurt you. You can't grow in the soil that poisoned you. And you can't become new while sleeping inside your old life. Change your room, change your circle, change your energy. If you want to live a different life, you need to build a different world around you. Because your environment is not just your background, it is your blueprint. Way 10. Remember the cost, or you will keep paying it for the rest of your life. You are not just breaking a habit. You are breaking the cycle that is slowly killing everything beautiful about your life. Every time you repeat that bad habit, every time you delay your change, every time you say, "tomorrow," you are not just hurting yourself. You are hurting your future self, your dreams, your parents who believe in you, your child who will copy you, your partner who deserves your best, your health, your mind, your soul, and, worst of all, you are hurting the version of you that could have been something extraordinary, but will now die unknown because you couldn't let go of temporary comfort. Example: there was a man who had a dream since he was 18. He wanted to be a coach, a writer, a speaker, but he had a habit, procrastination. Every year he said, "Next year I'll start. Just need a little more time. I'm not ready yet. I'll quit the job soon. I'll get in shape first." One day. That one day never came. At 43 years old, he stood in front of the mirror, overweight, drained, stressed, a shell of the man he once imagined. His dream was still alive, but his time wasn't. And as he stared at his tired face, he whispered something that shattered his soul. "I waited so long to live, that now I'm just surviving." He cried that night, not because he failed, but because he never started. Ask yourself these 10 brutal questions. 1. What will happen to my dream if I don't break this habit? 2. What will my health look like in 10 years if I continue this? 3. What type of example will I be to my future kids? 4. What regrets will I carry on my deathbed? 5. Who could I have helped, inspired, or saved if I had become my best self? 6. What kind of love am I losing by not loving myself first? 7. What kind of life am I rejecting just to protect a habit I hate? 8. Who will remember me and what for? 9. What would the 10-year-old version of me say? 10. Am I proud of the way I spent this week of my life? If these questions hurt, good. That pain is your last warning. You think this habit is small. You think this moment doesn't matter. But that's how your entire life disappears. One tiny compromise at a time. So today, right now, don't just break the habit. Break the pattern. Break the excuses. Break the cycle of silence. And remember this truth until it sets you free. Your bad habit is not just costing you comfort. It's costing you your whole life. Listen to me. Really listen. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not too far gone. You are simply human. A human who got stuck in patterns, in pain, in silence, in a cycle you didn't ask for, but one you kept repeating. But that ends today, because now you know the truth. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to say one thing out loud. I'm ready to fight for my life. I don't care what your past looks like. I don't care how many times you've failed. I don't care what people think about you. Because starting today, your past has no power over your future. Your habits do not own you. Your mistakes do not define you. And I want you to know this from my heart. You are not alone. You are not weak. You are not hopeless. You are more powerful than you've ever been told. And I promise you this, you can change. You will change. And one day, people will look at you and say, "How did they do it?" And you'll smile because you'll remember this moment. This was the moment you said, "I'm done being controlled by a habit. I'm done wasting my life. I'm done being who I used to be." From now on, every step you take, every small win, every new day, you will be building the strongest version of you. And when it gets hard, because it will, come back to this video, rewatch it, remind yourself you're not alone. You're not done. You're just getting started. If this message touched your heart, if you're ready to change your life, then subscribe. Stay with me, and let's walk this journey together, because the next version of you, they're already waiting. And I promise you, they are worth it.